Where did the lid go? How do I lose things? Like, I just got foundation in my hair. Hi everybody, it's PJ and you're gonna get ready with me. You're gonna get ready with me. I had another out of body. I have out of body experiences now, like on the regular. Some of them are very private and I can't tell you. But you can just use your imagination. But some of them aren't. So I'll tell you about the one that was kind of cool. I've been doing like OBEs a lot. It interrupts my sleep so much. Like I literally sometimes can't get rid of it like the way I want to because I think I've just crossed over so many times. It's so easy to cross over that I say to myself, I'm not going to do it tonight. I'm going to get a good night's sleep. And then I don't. It's crazy. So anyway, because Sunday, Tim had left and I went in to lie down like at 4 o'clock just because I was like tired. Because when you're with Tim, you're running the roads.
Probably the best day I've ever had in my life. I'm gonna hang out with my best friend, and that is...
Party animal. So I laid down with Tim because I was tired, or I laid down with Tim. I never laid down. And laid down because I just was tired because I had run around, with Tim for a long time. So, my Monroe Institute stuff, it's like Gateways, it's called. And let me throw on Gateways and just see what happens. Relax. And it's like, when you do, I am making no sense. When you do ADHD, I felt myself like going. And there's exercises in the Monroe Institute Gateway stuff. And if you ever want to start doing this, that's my suggestion is you get the Gateway stuff from Monroe Institute because that stuff takes you there like that. So I put it on and I'm listening and all of a sudden I'm like, shoo, I feel the vibration and it wasn't even like a second and I was out of body. But it's like normally at nighttime and stuff when I'm out of body, like normally because that's just when I tend to do it. But this is daytime. So I got up and walked around my house. Like I could see the dogs on the bed. I could see me. What was crazy was when I turned around to look at me, because I thought, let me look at me. I very rarely do that where I look at me in the bed. And I turned around to look at me and I could see like the shape of me in the bed, like where I was taking up space. But I couldn't clearly like go down and look at my face to face kind of thing. Gave up on that quickly, went out back to my backyard, and then I thought, let me go back to the tent. Remember that big tent? So I tried to push myself back to the tent. I was like, I closed my eyes and was like picturing the tent, because that's all you kind of have to do is like will yourself to where you want to go. So I was trying to picture that tent. Do you remember the one I'm talking about? The one that, I followed that, or that dog thing followed me. Anyway, so I wanted to go to the tent, but instead I end up at the cabin, which I haven't been at the cabin for a really long time. So when I get there, there is a child playing out in the water. Remember, there by the cabin is like this drop off and then a river. I guess it's a river. It's wide enough to be a river, but it's not like the river like my river or the bay, you know what I mean? You can see the other side. So there's this child in the river like playing. So I walked down and I tried to talk to them and they just acted like they couldn't hear me or they didn't hear me. And I was like, am I in a different place in this? And I realized, you know what? This is a place. So this is, so I start to like, because my big thing when I do it is find a street sign, find a name, find like proof of where you are. You know what I mean? So I was like, I could walk down the path again and probably come to the tent. But now that's out of my head because I see this kid. So I wanted to talk to them. So I'm like, and the kid had on a pair of like white underwear. You know how it's a little girl, but you know, white underwear, like little kid white underwear, that no top, out on the rocks Why I didn't walk down, I don't know. I can't even tell you. Or just think myself down there. I didn't, but they couldn't hear me. And I got this feeling that I was like watching somebody on the other side. So I wonder now, as I've wondered with like time loops and whatnot, whether or not what I'm seeing sometimes, and when they can't recognize me, or I walk by somebody and they obviously don't see that I'm walking by them, I think I'm seeing people I think the veil is so thin that you get to see both sides at the same time. Anyway, so I try to holler down to this kid, nothing. Oh, and the cabin this time had furniture in it again. And it's only had furniture in it the one time when I saw Jeff. But this time it had furniture in it. So I walked back in the cabin. I couldn't get the kid to look at me. She was just like playing in the water, like laughing and playing like any Sunday anywhere near a river in a warm day in USA kind of thing. I don't know if it was USA, obviously, but I mean, you see what I'm saying? So, I go back in the cabin. I walk back in the cabin, and there's like the dusty old chair that Jeff first appeared in. And then there's a wooden bench there. And then I look through the cabin door, and there, you have to put all your body in a box with the Monroe Institute tapes. And the box was there. So I was like, oh, okay, so this is ground zero. See, I'm always there trying to figure something out. Like, not always. Sometimes when I'm taken, it's in a totally different place. I've been in some crazy places. But this time I'm at the cabin, so I'm relatively sure I'm safe and nothing crazy is going to happen. But I see my box in through the living room into the bedroom, and I was like, maybe I come here every time and don't even realize, like, I do it so quickly that I don't even like recognize that I do it. Anyway, so I'm in the cabin and I'm looking around because I'm looking for evidence, okay? So I literally go over to the chair and pull the cushion up because I want to see if it has that tag that says don't remove. It does not. There is no writing on the cushion. So I was like frustrated, and I couldn't get myself to like go anywhere from there. And I kept feeling like any minute I was going to be woken up. Anyway, I looked around in there. I went into the bedroom, where I guess it's a bedroom. There's never a bed, but it's a little room off the big room. Okay. But I go in there and I look around like in the corners, and everything's very ethereal at this point. The sunlight coming through the window is like extra, extra bright, and it just feels like so different. And I said, so I'm like going around, and I don't open my box because I'm afraid that'll bring me back, and I don't want to be back yet. So I'm looking around for like a scrap of paper, a name, something, because like for me, writing is proof if I can find it in this world. Do you know what I mean? So I'm looking all around, looking all around. I go out of the bedroom. I go into the kitchen. I'm looking all around. And when I say kitchen, it's just where I would put a kitchen if that was my house. So I don't know. The other room, it has a window, no glass in it, nothing like that. That part of the house, I can look out in the river. And when I look out in the river, there's like all these people out there. So I'm like, people, I can talk to people, right? So I fucking turn around. Oh, excuse my friend. I turn around. I run through that room into the big room, the living room with the chair. I run out the front door onto the dirt ground because it's like hard pressed dirt ground. Like other people walk there too, because I couldn't have done all that in the few times I went. And I run down to the river, and I'm like, yo, hey, yo, hey. And then I feel it in my throat, and I fucking come back to my body. No! It was so sad. I was like, oh. I wanted to see if they could see me. But there was all these people, and I could draw you that picture. I could draw... Sorry. Anyway, so I could draw you the picture of the people there. But when I was hollering out to the little girl, I was like, yo, hey, hey, yo, right? To the little girl. She was like looking up in a certain direction, like away from me. And I was like, why isn't she responding to me? Like, what is she looking at? Like, that's what was going through my brain. But when the other people, like, I could see the other people, it was like I could see where she was looking. She was looking to this older guy who was like in swim trunks, like regular swim trunks, and playing in the river. The river on this side is probably maybe anywhere from the shoreline to like 3 foot deep, and I have no idea what's on the other side because I've never crossed it. So I'm like, am I seeing like a now time thing? Am I seeing something in time? It's so interesting to me that I'm like clueless as to what I am seeing. What is it? What am I seeing? Who are these people? Are they really there? Is this some snippet of like a time thing where I'm saying, it drives me insane because I never, like, I know when I'm real time is when like I'm talking to people and they're talking back to me. But like when I saw the guy at the end of my street, or when I saw Jeff at school, that kind of thing. But when it happens like this, I'm really at a loss to know what I'm watching. It's like watching a TV. And anyway, every time not every time, but a lot of times when I use my voice, I can feel it in my throat and it brings me back. It's so frustrating. I just want to know what I'm looking at. What? So that's a latest OBE that I can tell you about, because there is one that I can't tell you about. It was really fun. But anyway, yeah, so that's what's been going on in my OBE life. And man, start doing it. Like, it's like living 2 lives. The only problem is you don't get any sleep. I don't know how to balance this out right to get sleep, because like I'm sure some people get sleep. I don't. I like literally am exhausted when I'm done. I'm like, what the fuck? The next day I'm like, it works. Like, yeah. And I'm too old for that shit. Do you know, I just am dying for one day to me being in one of those places and somebody walk in or something walk in and communicate with me. Because I feel like if I can get communicated with, the only thing that's really communicated with me are the dead so far. How'd I do that? Like, so far. I don't know. Like, I feel like the people that I've talked to so far are also like dead human beings, except for the dog. I don't know what that was. That was it was like, I wasn't afraid of it, but I was like, do you remember the Jurassic Park scene where he's like, hi dinosaur, and then the dinosaur like eats his face? Like, I kept thinking, like, is this thing gonna eat my face? Like, I'm thinking it's all friendly because it's like acting like something I can relate to, like a friendly dog. And then all of a sudden I'm like, is this thing going to eat my face? Don't know who these people are, but there was a bunch of them. And I like sometimes, because I draw and I paint, you see like my paintings sometimes I put in the beginning of my videos and whatnot. And I wonder, should I draw some of this? Should I show people what I'm seeing? I might do that. I might pull. I love to draw in the winter. Don't ask me why. Like in the summer, I just can't sit and be that astute about it. But in the winter, when I'm like alone or like it's cold out, so I don't want to go anywhere, I love to like sit and draw or paint or whatever. So I think that's what I'm going to do. I think I'm going to wait for the winter to, or not winter, wait for the weather to click over. It's hot today, but they say it's going to be like fall this weekend. And if it is, I'm gonna wait for the weather to click over and like start to try and draw some of these things that I've seen. Some of them are spectacular and crazy and just not even something you can imagine, because I couldn't imagine it. So if I draw it and paint it, whatever, let me see if I can do that and show you guys. That'd be kind of cool. Like a cartoon or something. Although I don't feel very cartoonish when it's going on. Anyway, I love you. I'll talk to you soon. I am working on Sex with the Virgo. If you'd like to follow me down the rabbit hole that is my life, hit the button down below and subscribe. My thumbs are wrong. Down below and subscribe. Give me a thumbs up if you like these kind of videos. A thumbs down if you don't. Either way, watch me manifest something lovely in your life. If you know it, think it, believe it, you can have it too. Like a really cool experience, like that you can investigate. Like it's like a puzzle that you can try and unlock the pieces of, and it's your life.